recruitment boss doesn't agree. He's been met with a furious backlash to an online post where he branded home workers as spoilt and entitled, who sit in their pyjamas all day, and says he's tired of hearing people turn down office-based jobs, really good jobs, he thinks, just because they're office-based and they want to work from home. So here's what some of you thought about his comments.
I think it has nothing to do with whether you're at home or in the office. If you're lazy, you'll be lazy at home and lazy in the office.
If I'm in the office, I feel like I'm in that right work environment. It's so much easier just to get stuck in with work rather than sitting on a couch or watching TV or even going in the kitchen, making yourself food.
Definitely not. I'm working from home and I'm working more than I was working in the office. So I think if you are productive, you can be more productive at home than working and going and commuting to the office. So
I don't agree that people are lazy. My sister worked from home all through lockdown and she worked 9 to 5 all the time and was rather busy.
I'd say working from home, you've got periods of productivity and then you've got periods where you're distracted, whereas in the office you're just able to kind of focus on work.
Joining us now to debate this, former apprentice candidate Thomas Skinner, who thinks the more time we spend away from the office, the lazier we are getting, and business owner Andrew Solanki, who thinks working from home is far from lazy and actually leads to greater efficiency. Good morning to both of you. Great to have you with us. So, Thomas, I know that during COVID you've been incredibly generous towards the people that work for you. You've been going out there, you've been helping. You actually let them have mornings off if they've had a drink the night before, they've joined the football. I know so your workers are really, really keen to work for you because you create this great environment. But what are you saying about people that want to work from home and then being a little bit lazier than those? You actually think
I mean, there's two things. Obviously, when you are at home, it's hard to get into that work, that work zone. Obviously, you can have a cup of tea indoors, you can watch Netflix, you can chill out, you can lay in your bed. Whereas when you go into the office or the warehouse or wherever you're going, you're with your other colleagues, you're in a working environment, and you're going to push yourself harder. But not only that, obviously, there's an economical value to it as well, because all the people commuting to work and all the people getting on the train, obviously they're stopping buying a coffee, they're supporting the high street lunch breaks, buying from the shops. And if they're not at work, obviously that's gonna affect that, and then we're gonna lose all the small businesses as well. So there's two factors to it as well.
Lots of people, Thomas, getting in touch with us this morning saying far from being lazy, it's anything but that. Julie says, as someone who's worked from home for the last 15 years as an academic, yesterday I worked from 10 till 11 p.m, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m, 30 minutes break. It's been that way for the last week. I get more done because I'm not being distracted. I don't have a commute, so I get to work quicker. I'm ready to go. I'm much more efficient when I work at home.
Look, some people, if I'm talking from my point of view, I've tried it, I've tried it myself with my staff, and we don't get as much done from working from home. And look, I understand the fact that...
You were at home, you couldn't have got that phone call, could you?
People ringing for bed. I wouldn't have took that phone call, would I?
No, exactly. Let's speak to Andrew while you take your call. You're obviously very busy there. Andrew Solanki, good to speak to you as well this morning. Does it in some ways depend on what you do? For some people, working from home is a brilliant way to not get distracted by people coming up to you and talking to you and chitter-chattering. They get down, get stuck in and crack on. And then for others, the nature of the work requires more interaction in order to make it happen.
Well, the first thing I'd say is if anyone told us before the pandemic that many of our jobs would be moved to remote working, we would have said that's absolutely impossible. And what have we seen over the last 18 months? It's possible to have flexibility and optionality to work from home and for it to be successful. And we've really, as a nation, embraced technology. We've learned new ways of working. And over that time, we've really invited this huge talent pool back into the workforce. You've got so many people who either have other commitments, dependents, carers, or that taboo work-life balance that people might aspire to. Working from home is really giving the control back to each one of us for a short period within the day. You might, like some of the people on the video said, you know, rather than commuting to work, you might want to do something with that time. Walk your dog, go to the gym, be productive, run an errand that you won't have to do at the end of the day. And on Thomas's point about the economy, I'm in full agreement about kick-starting the economy. But change is the word here. Things are going to be different. Things have been different for the last 18 months. They're going to be different for the next 18 months and more. We shop differently, we dine differently, and we're going to work differently. And we need to support businesses. I'm a huge supporter of small businesses. How do we support them? By dragging people into environments that don't work for them? Or do we help those small businesses to reinvent themselves to better serve the needs of their customers?
Thomas, have you had any issues with any of your staff who have said post-COVID, do you know what, I'd rather carry on working from home if that's all right with you? Or have they all been desperate to get back into the office?
To be fair, I've been very lucky. My you know, look, you haven't got a business without your team. My team are fantastic, and they'd rather be all in the office together. This is one of my little offices I'm in now. Look, I've been working since 3 a.m. and everyone was in there, up the yard, who's got to be there, unloading lorries. Like, we just don't work from home because it just doesn't work. But that's my business.
Yeah.
But
I mean, let me ask Andrew, what advice then would you have to employers to make sure that their workers aren't being lazy? Because I think one of our views from you guys at home was that actually if you're lazy at home, you'll be lazy at work. But at least, I guess, from the employer's perspective, they can see you reading a magazine rather than doing your work. So what should they do? And then maybe we can get rid of the stigma of lazy.
So I think, like you say, lazy people will be lazy people, whichever environment they're in. Look at the work they're doing. Look at, you know, for Thomas, look at the sales. For people who have got businesses, look at what you want them to achieve. Have they achieved it at the end of the day? I think long gone are the days of micromanaging, and it's really difficult to move away from that, but look at the output.
Right then, Andrew, Thomas, good to have your thoughts. We've been running a Twitter poll on this. Do you feel like it's lazy to work from home? 75% saying no.